Good morning from about an hour north of Manhattan in the town of Goshen, where today I'm at Legoland, New York, a relatively new theme park that opened up. And in this video here, I'm gonna show you all the rides, shows, and fun that can be had here at Legoland. Love the big, giant, whimsical entrance area. That's really well done. All right, let's go explore Legoland, New York. Right when you walk in the gate, you're greeted by this wonderful, gigantic Lego sculpture. A big dinosaur with a construction hat, with a duck with some armor on top. This is really, really neat. What better place to start our tour of Legoland New York than with the rides? And here is probably my favorite ride in the entire park, and that's the Lego Factory Adventure Ride. It's a very high-tech, this is a trackless dark ride using all sorts of awesome projection technology, and it's got a wonderfully fun storyline where they start out in a fanciful Lego factory where you figure out how the Lego bricks are made, then you yourself get turned into a minifigure before you end up getting sent to your forever home. It is very creative, lots of great technology, and a big thumbs up. One of the marquee attractions at Legoland, as well as every other Legoland park, is the Dragon roller coaster. It's a ride that starts out as a medieval Lego-themed dark ride and then ends with a big roller coaster segment. And by big, it's probably about 40 to 50 feet tall and very gentle. But one of the best rides in the park. Definitely check this one out. A favorite attraction for many kids is driving school, and there's two different speedways. There's a speedway over here on the right for kids that are 3 to 5. It's gonna be a little bit smaller, but very adorable. And then over here on the left will be one for kids 6 to 13. Now these are just kids only rides, so like parents can't ride with the kids have to go on by themselves. And here is the older kids driving school for those 6 to 13, where it's a much larger course. Some cool stuff too, like I love the detail where the stoplights are all made out of Lego, or the kids can learn how to use a roundabout. Located in the Lego City area, you do have Coast Guard Academy, where you can drive a little boat. Has some Lego friends. I do really like the Lego dolphins over there. The Fire Academy ride is very interesting. You get in a fire truck, which you have to physically pump to get to the fire. Now, once you get to the fire, of course you have to put out the fire by using the water gun.
Trip number 5!
The pirate jet ski ride going around and the big water bombs going off. That looks fun. Probably not for me, as I don't really care for rides that get me soaked, and this one looks like it could get pretty wet.
Good.
But definitely fun.
Want some water?
Anchors Away is a traditional rock and tug kind of attraction, but it is, of course, all Lego-ized and made to look like a big pirate ship. And then you got some fun details. Very shiny and new looking. There's a large pirate ship themed playground. I like the skeleton on the front. What I think has to be the wettest ride at Legoland, the splash battle. Everyone on the shore, they have water guns. Everyone on the boats, they've got water guns. And there's all sorts of, I need to get out of here before I get wet. Lots of fun details as I try to avoid getting soaked. So I believe when rides like this, you hit targets like that, and then things do indeed happen. And I love the big octopus over there. Look at the Lego octopus. That's really neat. There's a big boat-themed playground in the Lego City area. More playground equipment. It's very, very popular, I'm sure. Tower Climb is a fun interactive ride on these 3 different towers. What you gotta do, you gotta use the rope to pull yourself up, and then if you let go of the rope, well, you gently float back down. Pretty fun, and very interactive. But be careful, rope burn could be an issue if you're not careful about it. Merlins Flying Machines is a simple spinning flat ride, but it's kind of got an interesting idea. The more you pedal, the higher you go. Also, I love the owls that are in the middle. In the Lego Ninjago area, there is a bunch of kind of interesting playground equipment for the kids to do a whole bunch of things on, whether it's the 360 degrees of fun, the rock climbing cubes, or these kind of spin around devices. One of the major dark rides here at Legoland, New York is Ninjago the Ride. And this is interesting because it's a 3D interactive ride in which you have to move your arms to fire all sorts of weapons at your enemies on the ride. Really cool track made by the guys over at Triotech. I like this ride. It's going to be one of the best rides in the park. It's pretty neat when you get off the ride. They also tell you the best scores of the day and the best scores of the week. Wow. The Ninjago area of the park is probably home to the most unique playground, made out of 2 big cubes. Jay's Gravity Force Trainer is this gentle spin around train ride. If you have real little ones, they'll probably be a big fan of the Duplo Express train ride, a train ride designed for the littlest kids, which makes sense that they have the Duplo branding around it. This building here is home to the Creative Workshop and Build and Test. Let's take a quick look and see what's inside. So this area is where you get to build and play with a couple different Legos. Like over here, you get to build your own Lego skyscraper and then set it to the earthquake test by hitting the button. And you start out slow, and then you crank it up to see how well you stand up in an earthquake. Mine seems to be doing okay. All right, Mom, you built kind of a water faucet?
Kind of.
Wearing a birthday hat. Oh, mine has fallen apart. Uh-oh. Oh, you just turned it down.
Used to be on the problem. Crank it up, crank it up.
It's all the way on.
It's okay. I think you might be a very good Lego earthquake builder. You seem to be standing up pretty well.
It's all the way on red.
DJ's Dizzy Disco Spin is a teacup ride. You can take it gentle like them, or take it very extreme like these guys. This could be as sickening or as not sickening as you want it to be. Right in the front of the park is the Brick Party Carousel. One of the most unique merry-go-rounds I think you'll see anywhere. You get Lego motorcycles, Lego animals, tubs of fun kind of thing, all sorts of stuff on you know, a very, very unique, very cool merry-go-round. Now, if you have little ones that are not quite brave enough or old enough for the big dragon roller coaster, there is this one here, the Dragon's Apprentice, which is a much smaller, kid-friendly roller coaster. But unfortunately for me, it is not operating today, as this is definitely not where that roller coaster is supposed to stop. Very cute train, though. But yeah, that's definitely a bummer. There's been people working on it, and you know, especially for me, I'm not going to be at this park probably ever again, and to miss out on one of the roller coasters, that's a bit of a bummer. The main live action show is the Big Test Stunt Show. You can see people practicing down there for it, and a fireman-themed stunt show for kids. A big part of the fun of coming to a Legoland park is all the Lego sculptures and little details hidden all over the park. This next section of the video, I'm going to take a look at that. And they have just wonderful stuff. Starting here in the Pirates area, you've got this pirate guy running scared, I guess because Grandma here is trying to feed a giant alligator a turkey leg. Very, very neat. And big, like the alligator is quite the Lego sculpture. Of course, with this being Legoland New York, they've got a Lego Statue of Liberty meet and greet character. And the Lego Statue of Liberty is right in front of this sculpture here. A multicolored elephant wearing a top hat who's friends with some monkeys. Lego Jester character is fantastic. Got a couple of Lego starfish.
Hey guys, want to play? A little family race going on?
This is great. The seagull with the fish right next to the trash can. Another big Lego sculpture here. I think this is neat. They've got a couple of these around the park where the minifigures are in a wheelchair to make, you know, guests of all types feel welcome. And I think that's just great. Here's a minifigure guy I absolutely love. This is right next to one of the spinning rides in the park. It looks like this guy did not have the best time on that spinning ride and is going to have to use this trash can. Something that might be important on your visit, over here in Lego City, there is Duplo Baby Care, and on the other side of that is going to be First Aid. I hope you don't have to visit either one of those, but if you do, that's where they are. The Lego Fire Hydrant. At the entrance to the Fire Academy ride, you can see the firemen climbing up to save the cat. The Lego minifigure here in Lego City, walking their seeing eye dog. Out in front of the Pizza Pasta Buffet, look at this guy! Big Lego Statue of Liberty. This one's fun. It appears the Lego police officer has pulled over this lady who is clearly speeding to give her a ticket. Poor little Lego granny is getting a ticket. I'm not sure why there's a Lego businessman who's dressed up as corn carrying a briefcase, but it's awesome. Got a couple of big Lego wolves and a couple of little baby Lego wolves. I like how this one is looking at his friend who's hidden in the bushes. A sleeping castle guard who has had a bite out of his turkey leg. Got a couple of knights in training over here. This knight over here has stabbed herself a pickle. Looks like a Lego king on a horse. This Lego knight very happy because he stabbed himself a nice juicy apple. You can see a very excited gentleman who just, I think, bought a whole bunch of stuff in the store with his baby dragon. And at the entrance to Lego City, they got a big statue of a lion statue. Love the little Lego bears. There's a little Lego Robin Hood up on the hill. Here at the Wizard's Frozen Wonders shop, even the Lego characters are quite enjoying their ice creams. In one section of the big hill, they have what's called the Lego Friends Nature Trail, which all the different Lego friends are off finding Lego animals, including an adorable baby fox. For kids, there is a kind of a hedge maze. And then for adults, there is there are benches. Here you've got sleeping Lego dad next to my dad. Very, very appropriate. I'm sure it happens all the time in this park. One of the more unique ones is a bunny with a chainsaw and overalls. A Lego wizard with the baby dragon on his shoulder. This one's a different one, a Lego cactus. This one is also really good. Look at the puppy on the skateboard. This Lego friend over here is bird watching. With his binoculars and bird guide, probably getting a good view of those birds all the way over there. This Lego friend is playing the guitar by the Lego campfire and a Lego pug. Got a food stand right by the stunt show that's done up like a giant Lego brick itself. And then this lady who's a waitress dropping food on the floor. A very large Lego sculpture here for what I'm guessing like a Lego Ninjago Transformer or Power Rangers Zord. Also got these really cool Chinese dragons made out of Lego. Right by the Ninja Kitchen, you've got these guys. Looks like that one's shooting firebolts to help this one cook some food. The entrance to the fanciful Bricktopia section has this robot-y bear. I love his feet. It looks like a truck and a train. I like zebras, but I might like them even more if they were multicolored. There is also a colorful panda, as well as an ostrich that's got its head in the ground. This one's fantastic. Look at the magical flying water faucet spouting out a rainbow water. The musical fountain is a lot of fun. You stand on the different things to make them play and squirt water. This one also terrific. It's a dragon holding like I guess like a karaoke microphone and boombox. And anyone can have fun at Legoland. There's my mom taking her picture in a wacky car with a rabbit. This is such a colorful, giant Lego, kind of like mad scientist with his beaker. The Lego company just turned 90 years old, so to celebrate in the park, they made this giant 20-foot tall birthday cake made out of 180,000 Duplo bricks. Another wonderful character here, that's Professor Brick from the Lego Adventure Ride. Right in front of the Ninjago ride, there's a ninja drumming show called Earth Beat. Now the signature treat at Legoland parks are the Granny Apple Fries. The stand can be found here in Lego City. Now it's about $10 to get a plate full of apple fries. Now if you're curious what apple fries are, they're sliced apples that are then fried in pancake batter and served with caramel and whipped cream. They are very, very tasty. Always good to see parks expanding, and Legoland New York is indeed doing that with a small splash area with tipping bucket. We'll give you just a heads up that Legoland New York is a pretty hilly park going from the top to the bottom. Might have to grab some lunch here at Brickbeards Food Market, although I will say, probably not going to buy as much as this guy. And definitely won't buy as much as these guys. So it's kind of like a little food hall in there with different stations. You can get different things. My mom went with the chicken, vegetables, and rice from the Asian station. I got the signature Philly cheesesteak. My dad got the double smash burger. Now food here at Legoland not going to be very cheap. Most of the entrees are around $12 to $15. With this neat Lego car parked out front, you've got the Palace 4D Cinema, which shows 3 different 4D films. In the exit of the Lego Factory Adventure Ride, they got the build your own minifigure area. So you get to come over here and, you know, pick out whichever body you want and then put different pants and heads and hats or hair on it. That's a cool gift shop. By far, the wildest looking restaurant here at Legoland New York is Smokeys Brick BBQ. Where to get in, you walk through the mouth of a fire-breathing dragon. The heart and soul of any Legoland park is the miniland section, and that's no different here at Legoland New York. They've got a whole bunch of different cities done up in miniature fashion. This next part of the video, well, we're going to take you through Miniland here at Legoland New York. First section of Miniland we're coming across is Washington, D.C. And you see everything from the Lincoln Memorial to the reflecting pond, the Washington Monument, the White House. Lots and lots of things. And there's just an incredible amount of detail here in Miniland as well. More Washington, D.C. with a very large version of the Capitol building.
It's big.
One thing with this Legoland, they do not have great signage. Like these red buildings here, they're very nice. I'm sure there's something. I just don't know what they are. I do know the Jefferson Memorial over here. So here you can see them demonstrating one of the interactives in which they're moving fish. Interesting. Upon further review, these is you're reeling in the fish and racing your friend. Not quite sure what this next section is, either Boston or Philadelphia. And you really, with Miniland, you got to come and look at all the details. Like, check out this. Look at that.
So guys, what's...
Yeah, that's right. They have the pandas in DC.
Yeah, the pandas have escaped the DC Zoo, and they've stolen someone's scooter. And that's a cool shot of this area of Miniland. Now a section dedicated to the Midwest, so you've got Graceland, complete with Elvis out front. Then you've got Chicago, with both the Bean and I think it's the Willis Tower now. Moving along, I'm not 100% sure on this one. I think it might be like the House on the Rock in Wisconsin Dells. Something I haven't visited, but I want to. I think that's what that one is. And then this is really cool over here. They've got the Field of Dreams in Iowa, complete with like the ghost ball players coming through the corn. We're now in the New Orleans section, complete with Cafe Du Monde. Alright, Mount Rushmore is fantastic as the heads are all animatronics that sing. That's fun. This next section I'm a little confused on. It seems like it's kind of a Route 66 area. As you look down here, you got, well, they don't have rights to use the Big Texan name, but it definitely looks like the Big Texan. And then the Wigwam Motel, along with a lot of these kind of wacky, gigantic figures you'll find on Route 66. Although this looks like it also could be the Alamo over here. Got an area over here for the national parks with a big, wonderful lodge. I believe this is Mount Faithful, which does actually erupt. An area over there in the American Southwest. And then this is really cool, although unfortunately not functioning, is a big ski lift area. As I imagine these guys are supposed to go up and down the mountain. We're down in a section for the American Southwest and some desert mountains. And again, some of the little details that I just love at Miniland. Check out the folks whitewater rafting and kayaking down the canyon here. This camper here is driving itself into fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And you've got the giant Luxor pyramid. Some sort of magic show happening out front. And then the Bellagio, beautiful, beautiful hotel. And they have it complete with its own fountain show. Like, that is just terrific. The beautiful Venetian Hotel is also done up. Very, very much looks like the Venetian over in Vegas. And then they also have the High Roller Ferris wheel. I've been on the High Roller a couple times. One of my favorite attractions in Las Vegas. Of course, you wouldn't have Las Vegas without a small wedding chapel. And then just some of the details, like you're next to the Venetian here, and you could hear the noise from the casino inside. Tallest area in Las Vegas, in Miniland, and in actual Vegas, the Stratosphere Tower. And they do even have the big shot, the ride on top. The rides on top of the Stratosphere, one of the most terrifying things you could really do. This is fantastic. They have Slotzilla, the big giant zip line in Fremont Street in Las Vegas. And they got Fremont Street with the canopy right here. And I think the little guy does zip line at one point.
Maybe he's stuck.
But yeah, that's really neat that they have downtown Vegas. It's the first one I've seen that does like downtown Vegas. Most of them just use the Strip.
Back up.
And there you can see. And in Superman pose too, which is what you do on that zip line out in Las Vegas. We're now out in California at the Redwood Forest, complete with Bigfoot, the famous tree that you could drive on through. And then it makes its way into San Francisco with the Golden Gate Bridge and Fisherman's Wharf, and I think it's Pier 17, Pier 19, something like that, the famous pier. And it's so accurate, it looks just like it, down to the sea lions that hang out on the pier. The pier does have a functioning carousel on it. More San Francisco fun, Lombard Street, the curvy street I think in the entire world. You've got the Transamerica Pyramid, Chinatown.
Is that from the San Francisco earthquake?
And of course, going down a steep hill in San Francisco, you have a trolley car. Now in Los Angeles, and you've got the Griffin Observatory up on the hill, the Capitol Records. Of course, the Hollywood sign is Legowood. You got the Chinese Theater, featuring Escape from Bellagio, which of course is the headquarters, I believe, of the Lego company. And of course Madame Tussauds, because they own that brand. And then Dandy Donuts instead of Randy Donuts. So this might be the best little tableau that they have going on. This is supposed to be in Hollywood and they're filming a movie. And let's see if we can catch it in action here. Here we go. Looks like somebody has robbed the bank. There's the getaway car. He crashed into a fire hydrant. So of course you got to call the fire people. But this room is unbuilt. If they're on fire there. And then the whole thing falls apart, exposing this person in the bathroom. And for some reason, there's an alien taking off.
That was great!
Yeah. So you got kind of like Muscle Beach, the Santa Monica Pier, missing its rides though.
So this is a replica of the hotel where the road was.
And of course, Legoland New York had to have a very large section of Miniland dedicated to New York City. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. Some of the skyscrapers here in the Hudson Yards area. Now, I'm not sure what is going on with these snails, but there's giant snails. I will say a little bummed, this, for a new Legoland park, a lot of the stuff in Miniland does not work, and that's kind of disappointing. Like all the moving stuff. Right, this area is Times Square, down to everything from the ball drop to the knockoff Disney characters that roam the streets. Of course, they do have Madame Tussauds, as you would think. And then there's a kind of a cool interactive here on the screen. You kind of see like yourself as a Lego brick character. And down at the bottom, I think that is supposed to be Michael Jackson. More of the Times Square. I look at that. Back there, they've got like authentic New York hot dog stand. And then they they don't have the license to a lot of the names you might find in New York City. So it's Dinky Boats and Dinky Boats and the Leopard Prince, not to be confused with anything else. And the big grandstand that hangs out in Times Square as well. You can find some weird stuff anytime you go into Manhattan, but I'm not sure I've ever seen a dinosaur wearing a hat watching a guy breakdancing. Some of the famous hotels, Columbus Circle, the Carousel, as we now made it into Central Park. Oh, it looks like the Central Park Zoo is over in the end. And here is the Central Park Zoo. Actually, funny enough, I was at the Central Park Zoo yesterday and got to see the penguins and the red pandas. And they even have the classic clock that can be found at the Central Park Zoo. Very, very cool. And right next to the Guggenheim, which looks very neat in Lego form. They do have my personal favorite part of New York City, and then of course Yankee Stadium, home to my beloved New York Yankees. And of course they can't say it, so they call it Empire Stadium. But they have everything, including like the Great Hall in the stadium, and then all the people in the stands. There's some sort of interactive here, but like many of them, it is not functioning.
So it looks like Yankee.
A couple other neat little details. You've got like the museum at Yankee Stadium, and apparently the chefs, they're having a bad day. And next to Yankee Stadium, you do have the Bronx and the Botanical Gardens. And you can't have the Bronx without the Bronx Zoo, a wonderful zoo. All the different animals. The animals all seem happy as they get to move around to music. Some break dancers here. Also love that the Yankee Stadium has all the different retired numbers on the outside. Got Rockefeller Center. I wonder if during Christmas time here in Miniland, if they put out the tree or not. St. Patrick's Cathedral, the United Nations, and then Grand Central. Interesting statue there. The Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, and then I'm not really sure what's happening down here. Some monsters seem to be fighting. And then I want to say that that's probably supposed to be the Blue Man Group, but instead they're green. That's fantastic. It's a dog park. Absolutely love the attention to detail in Miniland. So not only did they build Madison Square Garden, but they built Penn Station right underneath it. They do have the September 11th Memorial, and then of course right next to it, the massive Freedom Tower. Definitely the biggest thing here in Miniland. Right now we're over by, I think it's Washington Square Park, and we're visiting Legoland during the month of June, which is of course Pride Month, and New York is home to a major Pride Parade, and they do the same thing here in Miniland with the "Everyone is Awesome" message, and it's right in front of the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Now time to make our way out of Manhattan and into Long Island, some of the other boroughs. You've got Queens represented here with the Men in Black spaceships from the World's Fair. You've got almost fallen over. You got Citi Field, Arthur Ashe Stadium, of course Kitty Field. Love the big globe from the World's Fair. In Brooklyn now, they got everything from the Barclays Center to the Public Library and the museum. Coney Island is great. They even have the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. You can see little Joey Chestnuts. Oh, that is wonderful. And they got rides that are actually on Coney Island. They do have a ride like that, as well as the big Star Flyer type. And I love the log flume. And the ferry in the background, and it goes down the big drop. Really, really neat. And of course the beach, and like mermaids, stuff like that underneath the water. Of course, you couldn't have Legoland New York without having the Statue of Liberty. And whenever you're in New York City, there is plenty of construction, so that has to be represented too, right? Like that little guy when the jackhammer moved up and down. And of course, it wouldn't be a major theme park without, well, having a giant gift shop. And right in the front of the park is the Big Shop. The Big Shop definitely lives up to its name. I love the big, like, mobile kind of thing with all the different colorful creatures on it. And then you could get any Lego set you imagine, not only stuff that's in the park, but Harry Potter, Minecraft, the Avengers, Super Mario, and lots of other stuff. They do have some Lego sets that are exclusive to the Legoland parks, and they have like a little dragon roller coaster. I wish they would sell like just that. They would stick the Legoland New York entrance sign. What that is there, that's not something you can buy. That's just this one. And they kind of wrote New York on the bottom there. In the Big Shop, I guess there's an interactive figure out which Lego character you are. So I'm prepared for scanning. Let's see. Who am I gonna get? I hope it's something cool. I would like to be a cool Lego figure. All right, they're scanning me all the way around. And I'm Brick Guy. I could probably get stuck in my friends. Neat details too, like the lights are done up like Lego dots. And then behind the cashier is an incredible, massive Lego mosaic. At Legoland New York, they do minifigure trading. So if you're familiar with like pin trading at Disney World, similar idea except with Lego minifigures. I just checked my watch, and I think it's about beer 30, and this is really, really neat. They have Angry Orchard No Assembly Required, which is a hard cider unique to Legoland, as Angry Orchard is located about 30 minutes up the road, so they partnered up and got their own specialty cider. Got this over here at the bar in the pirate area. I will say Legoland's a park that I was surprised had any beer at all, let alone they have two different specialty beers that you can only get here at Legoland, New York. It's by a local brewer, the Newburgh Brewing Company, the Build It Boss Mini IPA. And that'll do it for my time at Legoland, New York. Overall, I had a really fun day at this park. Very bright, very colorful. My favorite part, I just loved all the details and all the Lego figures and all the thought that went into building this park and all the lands. I thought that was really neat. I had some fun in Miniland. Was a little disappointed that there was so much stuff already broken in Miniland. You know, you really don't want to see that, especially with a newer park. Love the Lego Factory Adventure Dark Ride. That was a lot of fun. And overall, I think it's a good time. If you're going with kids, I think they will have an absolute blast at Legoland New York. Just like at any of the other Legoland parks, they're really designed for kids, and they hit that out of the park as far as attracting that demographic and leaving those people happy. If you're an adult, you'll probably leave with a big hole in your wallet, not the cheapest park to get into. And man, there's a lot of stuff you can buy in there between the food, the snacks, the games, and of course the giant gift shop. If you have any questions about Legoland New York, let me know in the comment section below, and thank you very much for watching this video.